Yes, there is. But also, João Pedro, you'll remember, was left at home during the World Cup, was surplus to requirements for Carlo Ancelotti's Brazil side. And our colleagues, during our hiatus, our ESPN Brazilian colleagues, did manage to catch up with Carlo Ancelotti post-World Cup to talk about Brazil's exit.
Perdimos a Copa do Mundo na pausa de hidratação contra a Noruega, porque até aí o equipo tinha o controle. Também é verdade que Noruega tinha posesión, mas ha tenido muita posesión em campo rival, em campo suyo.
Aquele debate dos 35% de posse, né?
Noruega fez o mesmo jogo contra a Inglaterra. Teve o controle do jogo, mas ao final podia ganhar contra a Inglaterra. Aí pode ser meu erro, pensava que a equipe perdeu o controle do jogo quando não estava perdendo o controle, e mudei um pouco a equipe e aí tivemos o problema com o gol de adelante. E depois, em uma Copa do Mundo, quando te marcam um gol ao minuto 80, é muito complicado recuperar, e tivemos a oportunidade para recuperar.
And so there is some sad news today, which we'll get to in just a minute. But first, we must talk about what we've seen here from Ancelotti, talking to our colleagues in Brazil about their exit to Norway. Hydration breaks taking a little bit of a hit again here.
Well, first, let me just say, for those of you that maybe do not understand either one of the languages, that was more Spanish than Portuguese from Carlo Ancelotti. It was Spanish with a few Portuguese words here and there. Regardless, what he communicated, Carlo, I love you. You know I love you. Well, come on now. Come on now, Carlo. The thing that you should have said is, I decided to bring Neymar on the field after that hydration break. Those are the substitutions that you made. And your team changed and lost the ball in the midfield and lost the ball in the attack, lost continuity in the attack. And then you were not defending nearly as well on the other side. And then you gave up 2 goals and there was no chance for you to come back because the team had lost all sorts of structure and discipline, both defensively and offensively, because everybody was trying to have Neymar have the ball and have him resolve the problem, which he hasn't been able to do for years now. Other than that, he was all right.
Stevie, what did you think of what Carlo Ancelotti
Well, I think
said
it's
here?
typical that he's trying to take the blame. You know, he's basically saying it's my fault. The changes I made, and he's trying to talk him. Well, but regardless of the names that he changed, the fact is, when you are getting outpossessed in your own half of the field, the argument has to be, well, you're asking for trouble. It's only a matter of time before you do lose a goal. So you have to do something. If you're the head coach of Brazil, you play Norway in a World Cup game, and you're going to sit there and be happy that Norway are possessing the ball and you're not, and your team's running around. So I disagree with them. I agree with Ali that the changes he made probably weren't the best, but I think he had to make changes. Brazil against Norway, and you're going to sit and let Norway have the ball? No.
The other thing that he could have said, which is factual information, it's not a matter of opinions, look, we had a penalty. We score that penalty and we go up in this game, it changes the dynamic of the match. And Neil, the goalkeeper for Norway, makes the save, and Bruno Guimaraes, by the way, missed that penalty. Oh. Why is he taking that penalty? That's a whole other different conversation. But regardless, we had an opportunity to jump ahead. We did not change the dynamics of the game. We allowed Norway to get comfortable. All those things he could have said. But to put this on the hydration break and the changes that he thought he needed to make and that was the mistake, I think that misses the point and a lot of the struggles that Brazil had throughout the World Cup, ahead of the World Cup, and will continue to have until they figure out who they are as a national team.
They got beat because they weren't very good.
Yeah,
How about that?
Could have said that too.
I could have said that.
Igor Thiago came to the World Cup with Carlo Ancelotti in Brazil, played in the first game, didn't see him after that.
Right.
Moments like that, are they moments that Carlo Ancelotti would be looking back on and reflecting on?
I hate to pile on, but whether Igor Thiago played or not, that doesn't move the needle in Brazil. The problem for Carlo Ancelotti is he decided to bring Neymar, and that conditioned his team and conditioned his decision-making because people expected Neymar to play. Once he was on the team, he was on the squad. When Neymar was injured with a calf injury, he's out injured, and he was playing, and Brazil were playing in the group stage, people were yelling for him in the stadium. The guy was wearing runners. He wasn't ever going to play, and they were asking for him to play. and you brought that problem on yourself by selecting him to begin with. And then you left guys like Joao Pedro back in Brazil. You said, nah, that's not it. We're going to go with this guy. And you're banking then on Igor Thiago. And when he wasn't the guy, and now you brought Neymar, you're running out of options. And then Rafinha got injured. That didn't help either. There are a lot of things that went wrong for Brazil. But to me, it all starts with Carlo Ancelotti playing the political game of bringing Neymar, and that way he wasn't addressing any more questions about Neymar. That's where he got it wrong to begin with, and it proved to be the case in the World Cup.
If you would like to know more about that Chelsea-Milan game where we kicked things off on this conversation, you can catch Stevie Nicol with Mark Donaldson over on our YouTube channel.
That's a little bit in my house.